On May 18, 1889, in the small town of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, USA, a baby was born into a family with a legacy of invention. His name was Thomas Midgley Jr. No one could have predicted that this boy would one day create two inventions that would impact the entire world. Once hailed as a scientific genius, he would later be called the single most destructive human in the history of the environment. Midgley's father worked in the tire industry, while his grandfather was an inventor who made a fortune improving saw tools and mechanical devices. Genetics and environment shaped a curious, technically inclined Thomas Midgley Jr., passionate about science. In 1911, Midgley graduated in mechanical engineering from the prestigious Cornell University. He later moved to Dayton, Ohio, a hotspot for inventors at the time. There, he joined a lab under a General Motors subsidiary, marking the start of his world-changing journey. The early 20th century was the golden age of industrialization. Cars were becoming widespread, but engine technology still had many limitations. One major problem was engine knocking, loud pinging noises that reduced engine life and annoyed drivers. Midgley was tasked with finding a solution. Carrying a periodic table wherever he went, he tested countless fuel additives. In 1921, he discovered tetrethyl lead. Just a small amount added to gasoline made engines run smoothly. General Motors quickly commercialized the product under the name ethyl, deliberately avoiding the word lead to prevent public backlash. But behind the scenes, horrific events unfolded at the production plants. Workers exposed to tetrethyl lead began to show symptoms: hallucinations, memory loss, madness, and even death. But Midgley and company executives denied any danger. At a press conference in 1924, he inhaled lead vapor himself to prove its safety. Few people knew that after this stunt, Midgley took an extended medical leave in Florida because he too had started showing signs of lead poisoning. At that time, refrigeration was still a luxury. Coolants like ammonia and methyl chloride were extremely toxic and highly flammable, unsafe for household use. The world needed a new solution. Midgley combined fluorine, chlorine, and carbon to create chlorofluorocarbon CFC, commercially known as Freon. It was colorless, odorless, non-flammable, and non-toxic, seemingly a miracle of industrial science. At the 1930 American Chemical Society meeting, Midgley inhaled Freon and then used his breath to extinguish a candle, drawing thunderous applause from the audience. Freon soon became the industry standard for cooling. Freon wasn't just used in refrigerators and air conditioners. It found its way into aerosol sprays, pesticides, and countless household products. Billions of CFA-containing items spread across the planet. In the 1940s, Midgley was paralyzed by polio, not wanting to depend on others. He invented a system of pulleys and ropes to help him move between bed and wheelchair without assistance. On November 2, 1944, Midgley was found dead, strangled by the very rope system he had invented. A bitter irony, killed by one of his own creations. By the 1960s, scientists found that urban air had dangerously high lead levels. Children exposed to lead risked brain development issues, lower IQ, and behavioral disorders. Lead was silently harming an entire generation. A study in the 1990s revealed that crime rates in the U.S. dropped dramatically after leaded. Gasoline was banned because lead damages brain areas that control behavior. An invention once thought harmless had devastated society for decades. Tetrethyl lead wasn't the safest solution. Ethanol was a cleaner alternative, but less profitable. The industry chose money, regardless of consequences. In 1974, scientists Molina and Rowland announced that CFCs destroy the ozone layer, Earth's shield against UV radiation. A single CFC molecule could destroy hundreds of thousands of ozone molecules. The ozone hole appeared over Antarctica, leading to surges in skin cancer, damage to ocean plankton, and a looming ecological crisis. In 1987, nearly 200 countries signed the Montreal Protocol, agreeing to phase out CFCs. It was a critical step in saving the atmosphere. Midgley was intelligent, creative, and devoted, but he lacked something crucial: long-term vision of his invention's impact. He placed too much faith in science's ability to control consequences. Green Cross Switzerland and the Blacksmith Institute ranked leaded gasoline and CFCs among the most harmful inventions in modern history, and both were created by Thomas Midgley Jr. Midgley's story is a wake-up call for the age of AI, genetic engineering, and nuclear energy. Technological innovation must go hand in hand with ethics, regulation, and long-term thinking. Midgley has no statues, no commemorative day. His name lives not in textbooks but in neurological hospitals, damaged children, and an ozone layer still struggling to heal. Thomas Midgley Jr., once praised as a genius, now symbolizes the failure of scientific responsibility. What do you think of him? Was he a misunderstood genius or the man who destroyed the planet? Leave a comment below and hit like and subscribe to discover more strange, tragic, and eye-opening stories from human history.